Welcome to the In Season podcast, rated R for language.
None of us are doctors or neurologists. Things you're about to hear are opinions of people living with epilepsy or seizures. These are firsthand experiences. Epilepsy can cause speech problems, and medications are hard to pronounce, so please bear with me. Epilepsy can cause bad memory, so some stories will be repeated. I'm Pookie. Get ready.
Anyone stay on low doses of their meds? I'm recently diagnosed with focal seizures. They started me on Keppra, thought I was scared. Although I was scared after reading all the horror stories of online Keppra rage, brain fog. I've been pleasantly surprised to find no ill side effects yet, and I'd even say my brain fog and fatigue are lower since starting it 2 weeks ago. Possibly due to no longer having the nocturnal seizures, but I don't know. Maybe I'm just one of the lucky few who tolerate Keppra well. I'm currently on 500 milligrams once a day at night, and overall feel great. Don't think I've had any focal since starting it. Now I know it's early, so I could have one anytime. I'm not working right now, and my stress levels are relatively low. So I was having only one about once or twice a week before Keppra, but was always tired and foggy. Before taking the Keppra and while working during stressful times, I'd have even more. So this person is stressing about noticing what a normal dose for Keppra is, how it's like 2,000 a day or more. So this person just wants to know if there's anybody out there that can manage on a lower dose.
I think most of us have tried Keppra before. It's not for everyone, but it does have its success. They have to start you somewhere, and you can't listen to all the horror stories because it's that's what it's like. Yeah, I have a horror story myself, but the doctor's got to find a starting point somewhere, and Keppra does its best because it hits everything.
Good point. I was up to the 5,000 and 6,000 a day max dose, and now I'm down to 3. I think it's like 350 milligrams a day. So lower doses are possible. Seizures are well controlled, I would say. And no horror stories on this side. Definitely have more energy and less brain fog since I've been on a lower dose.
I think horror stories are a thing. Is it Angel? Is that how it's pronounced?
Hell.
Any way you want to say it.
And Hell. Well, I want to say it right. So is it Angel and Hell?
And Hell.
And Hell.
Angel
Okay.
Or Angel.
As Angel says, there are horror stories for every medication. I think every person probably has a horror story. But that doesn't mean that's what your story's gonna be. Everyone's story is different. So I think it's worth hearing other people's stories just to know that if something happens to you, you're not the only one. That's not, it's not something that you need to be completely overwhelmed or overtaken by. Like, you can get past it. Like, if you don't react well to your first medication, that doesn't mean that you're never going to find one that does work. But, just because that's how other people react, that also doesn't mean that's how you're going to react. I think that's a thing that I really struggled with and am still struggling with to an extent, where I hear everyone's horror stories, and I feel like that's gonna happen to me. And my wife constantly has to tell me, like, everyone's different. Um, Especially with epilepsy, everyone's different. So you just have to know, like, you're gonna react how you're gonna react, and it's not gonna be how everyone else does. So you gotta you just gotta see how it goes, which sucks. But you gotta start somewhere, and I haven't been on Kepra yet, but I'm terrified to try Kepra, so there's that. But I shouldn't be terrified to try Kepra. But you can say what you say forever and then not believe it yourself. That's a thing I gotta work on. Anyway, are you trying to talk, Anhao?
I think you might have been waving at Jocelyn.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah,
that's all I gotta say.
There we go.
Stuck with the
It's all
background.
way to Jocelyn.
Hey, Jocelyn.
There you go.
Hello.
Next up here of so the comments on that one too mentioned the tolerance developed too. So even when you're on a medication and it does work, or you think it does, sometimes, seizures can happen just a couple months in. And that can be like a cycle, kind of vicious cycle of every time you have a seizure, they tell you to take the whole another, double the dose kind of thing. But that's probably the most like negative connotation with Keppra. Like you said, Reese, everybody finds their own. Next up is how to take care of someone with epilepsy. People with epilepsy. How do you want your family to treat you? I mean, are we making any mistakes in understanding your problems and feelings? Also, caregivers, please share your thoughts on this. Lots of comments on this one. So, as far as how do you want your family to treat you? What do you guys think about that?
I want them to be caring, like want to know something about it. Sometimes ask me, am I okay? Stuff like that. Check on me every now and then, I might be on the floor and you wouldn't know if you never come check, but things like that. Yeah, I don't expect much besides other than checking on me because of my disability or disorder or however anybody would like to say it. Yeah, just a little more caring. I don't know if some people actually know how to show how to care. I think that's a thing. They might care, but they just don't show it, which doesn't always help. Sometimes I want you to show it, not just have the caring there. Know what I mean? Show me you care. That feels good. But yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I can agree with that. What about you, Anya?
It's pretty much the same thing that Pookie said. Just check up on me every now and then. I know I have a camera in my room that will alert you if I'm having, a tonic-clonic, but just be more understanding. Like, tonic-clonics aren't the only other, types of seizures there are. I take medicine for absence seizures. I take medicine, you know, for cluster seizures. Like, we have to understand, let's learn together about the seizures that we have.
Yeah, I like how you said let's learn together. That not being alone kind of vibe is really comforting, especially from family who can't really relate necessarily, but that's a great way to show us that they care.
Well, obviously, like we all want is some respect and, just the human compassion, some understanding. Um, yeah, for the most part, they get it now, but it took a long time. I needed them to take this seriously, and now they're the ones panicking and not me this time. So I'm like, okay, we're good. I just, everything is all set. But yeah, just with that, what we all expect as humans, the compassion when we are weak or, you know, whatever. What did you say? No, I already, yeah, I don't have to
The
ask
initial
them.
question was, how do you want your family to treat you? And the first
Yeah,
response was more of a respect
yeah, the respect and the
tone.
compassion, and support. It's,
That's the word, compassion. That's the word I was looking for.
yeah. And sometimes it's just somebody being there. It's like you don't even have to do anything. Just, I'm not feeling right. Can you come over? Kind of thing. So, yeah, I mean, I don't have that. I know. Sorry about this, guys. I'm 24 hours away from going to the shop. So, we're getting I'll call it the sway. What is it? The sway arm or the tension arm? We're getting it fixed tomorrow. So, yeah, but I'm kind of out of it. And yes, they told me to just keep packing another bowl, smoke what you want. But yeah, just as far as what I went through and what my family went through, it was like too hard to believe when it didn't become before it became obvious. Before my seizures started to change. It was really hard to believe anything was wrong because they weren't seeing it. And yeah, when they all pretty much all had a chance to see it, and I still have the video, but those EMU videos they give you, but it was just that understanding and um, support, I guess. And yes, I am very, very medicated. So keep me out of the green box. I'm going to sit here and quietly enjoy hanging out. Um, for now, Jeff, I see you laughing. All right.
We always love Anne's input.
I
We
just
didn't.
wanted to hit up on something that Annie touched up on about, and it's when our seizure starts to change. That is a very serious, um, I can't think of the word right now, but that is a very serious thing to bring up to your doctor, your hepatologist or neurologist, you know, because it's a very big deal.
Yeah, that it changed my diagnosis from just temporal lobe epilepsy to TLE with secondary generalized. And now we can't even locate the foci, but they can tell that it's still starting in one spot and then going bilateral. Like one side of my brain will start and then it'll get the other side going. And that showed up on all their EEGs. So, it's like, yes, it is very important when my seizures changed. It wasn't long after that I changed doctors, and that was back in, oh my gosh, like 2016. Because I'm like, no, this is not what it was, 5, 6 years ago. This is different. And they really weren't hearing that. And you're right. It's like you have to tell your doctor because any sudden change like that, it's like I went from having, the partial focals, the focal aware to then focal complex. And it was like I kept graduating every level of seizure type until finally, this doctor is like, he's right on it. And, it's like, okay, this is what happened. and this is why. And you're right. We need to be careful with this. So, but that's what happened when those seizures changed. It was like I went from I look back and I'm like, wow, those were nothing to me, and I'm glad it's been a couple of years since I've had a tonic clonic because they hurt so bad. I can't imagine what that would do to me right now. So I'm not going to think about it. But yeah, they definitely evolved. And yeah, there are people that have the same kind of seizure their whole life, which I get it, I don't know if you guys saw that one post about that person who feels like they have imposter syndrome.
I've
And
seen that.
yeah, it's like, yo, no, it isn't like that. And you don't know, if you've been diagnosed with epilepsy, you don't know what it's going to do in the next decade, 4 decades. So, these are the things we have to pay attention to, and the doctors have to hear it. It's like this is much different from what it was when it started. And that's usually the keynote for that one. Yeah. But yeah, I'm just gonna chill because I'm just rambling.
How about you, Jocelyn?
The question is, what do I want my family to do?
Yes. Like, how do you want your family to treat you?
Well, definitely what everyone else has said, with respect, but compassion and caring. The reality is my family is not here. They're away in different states. But they can still support me, when we talk on the phone. So it's funny when a friend is in the house with me a lot, and when whenever I think we've talked about this before, whenever I like she'll be downstairs doing dishes or something, and I'll go upstairs, and if I like drop something, she'll be like, "Are you okay?" And I'll be like, "It's fine. I'm not having a seizure. I dropped something." So it would be nice if friends could just like relax and be like I'm not having a seizure. I just like dropped a book. So that would be nice. I mean, I understand that is being caring. They're just worried, but um
I don't want to
yeah.
have to hurt myself to get some sympathy.
Oh yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But I think that's caring in their own way. She's just worried about me. But it's just kind of annoying. Like for me at least we hope my medication topiramate is controlling my seizures. At least it was until I had my last tonic-clonic. I was under extreme stress, so we doubled my dose. So, but that was prior to my surgery. So now we hope that the surgery has taken away the epilepsy, I guess. I didn't realize that that could happen, so we'll see what happens. Anyways.
We didn't have an icebreaker yet because Kate wasn't here, right?
I have to admit I wasn't prepared today as well as I should have been.
I got
But you're the
one.
king of icebreakers anyway. Go ahead.
What's the first thing you see when you walk in the bathroom? I'll let that marinate.
I'll go first because I always look at the floor when I walk. That's just like I like look at the ground when I walk. So first thing I see is the shampoo bottle that holds the door open. Because otherwise the door closes. So I have a shampoo bottle that props the door open. So that's the first thing I see.
My toothbrush and my toothpaste.
I always look straight ahead of me, so when I walk in the bathroom, I see the shower.
This is a good question. Like I like this question. This stuff's easy to answer.
How about you, Jeff?
I see the
The
wall.
way my bathroom built, I would see the window.
This is actually a fun one because I get to talk more about Boston, which I love. I love Boston. But every building in Boston, for some reason, the lights switches for the bathrooms are not in the right place. I think it's just because all the buildings are super old. So they had to like put bathrooms in places that weren't that didn't bathrooms weren't supposed to be there. They didn't build the buildings to have they didn't build buildings at the time when they knew how to have bathrooms the way we have them now. I don't know. Anyway, my last apartment, the bathroom light switch was outside of the bathroom, which it turns out was way easier than my new apartment, which the light switch is on the forest wall inside the bathroom. So you
The
have to
light
walk.
switch to the bathroom is outside the bathroom?
Yeah, that's how it was.
Someone can put
But
you in the dark.
so the light switch to the new bathroom, you have to walk into the bathroom to the farthest wall and turn the light on there. So you have to be in the dark to turn on the light, which is ridiculous. So, like, at night, when you're going to the bathroom at night, you have to walk in with your phone's light on, so you have a light in the bathroom until you get to the light switch. It's ridiculous. Anyway,
Okay, so a
that's
nice
fun.
housewarming gift would be a nightlight for sure.
Yeah, so that's my story about Boston bathrooms. They're all too old. And
Your bathroom is just dark when you enter, right? So you don't
yep.
see anything. You're lucky.
I
I was just
also
thinking maybe
am
a dark bathroom would be better because there's a window. That's the first thing you see when in this one. And when there's lights on, it attracts lizards and bugs on the other side of the window. And that is really, really creepy. These lizards
I'm
that just
also not
nest.
allowed, but um I'm not supposed to close my bathroom door because of the number of seizures I've had in the bathroom. I don't know why, but my seizures like to happen in the bathroom. And I've had several where my wife couldn't get to me, and she was super stressed. So now I pee with the door open, super classy. That's how our lives are. So,
They could
yep.
be triggers.
It's okay. My
Okay.
cat won't allow me to do anything. So I have to have the door cracked so that the cat can come into the bathroom. So it's okay.
Sis.
Kinesthesia.
Huh?
I literally can't feel my fingertips. And this is what we call kinesthesia. Okay.
What's that high right now?
I have to be, or my heart rate will go out of this world. So, yeah. What was the question?
I don't know. I'm kidding.
What's the first thing you see in the bathroom?
I think it's the towel rack because I'm always looking at things that I might hit my head on because I'm really wobbly when I wake up and have to start walking fast because I don't have a whole lot of time, and it's like, oh, this isn't even funny anymore. So I think it's the towel rack and then this pedestal sink that I absolutely hate. It would be pretty if the other fixtures were arranged differently, but you literally walk into the sink when you walk into the bathroom. So, yeah, it's the towel rack or the sink.
Hi, everyone. I'm the mother and primary caregiver of a 26-year-old male who has severe intellectual disabilities and epilepsy. He is nonverbal and functions around the level of a 2-year-old. I wonder if any of you can describe what a complex partial seizure feels like. When my son has them, he completely freezes and stares up to his left, makes weird throat noises, and picks at his shirt with his left hand. It usually lasts about 20 seconds. He is non-responding to anything I do. When it is over, he is super confused, like someone being woken up and doesn't know where they are. And then he sleeps hard for a couple hours. Sometimes he has a urine or BM accident. Can't tell if that's happening during or immediately after. After waking up from this big nap, he is super calm and quiet for the rest of the day, but next day he is frequently agitated and aggressive. He seems to not comprehend a lot of things that he usually understands. Reminds him of someone with dementia who is agitated and confused. On the third day, post seizure, he is back to himself. It's so upsetting to me because he can't tell me how he's feeling. I wonder if he has any headaches, so I usually give him Tylenol or Advil for a couple of days. Do any of you have any advice? How do you feel in the days after a seizure? What brings you comfort in the bad feeling? Any details you're willing to share about the seizures and aftermath would be appreciated. Come on, you guys.
I can answer because I have ones almost exactly like that. I am just chatting with my wife, and then all of a sudden I'm staring in space at her. I think that
It
she says
happens.
I think she says sometimes I make like like weird noises with my mouth or something. I don't know. I just get weird into space. Lasts a few seconds and then I'm back, but then I'm exhausted and I sleep for like ever.
Reese,
It
when you
feels
say a
like
few seconds, how many few seconds do you mean? Because his said 20, then he's lost and confused. You instantly remember where you are?
usually I know where I am, but I'm just exhausted and kind of like
Yeah, it always takes me a few minutes to remember where I am, especially if the
it
ambulance or question me about it.
it varies for me. Sometimes I know exactly where I am. Sometimes I'm like, what's going on? Like it it depends. I've had different kinds, but I would say just to make you feel better, the writer, it doesn't hurt. There's no pain. You don't need to give him Tylenol, or at least I wouldn't need Tylenol. I'm just a little, it's just kind of like funky. Like the worst case scenario would be I would be a little confused for a little while, but mostly it's just kind of like, wait, something weird happened? What? And then you're exhausted. That's my experience, at least. So,
That sounds like how I felt after a tonic clonic where I did not get injured. Very woozy, confused, and then exhausted. But my body did not hurt because I did not fall.
Oh, that's great. I mean, not
Yeah,
great,
I'm
but I mean,
surprised that
great
they're
you got through.
saying that they're so exhausted after the complex ones. That usually only happens to me with the with the tonic-clonics. So you guys all want to take a nap after complex too? For those
Um,
absence ones?
from what someone else told me, I need to go talk to a neurologist because someone told me what I was having was a complex partial, but those were with convulsions. I need to know exactly what a complex partial is because I have convulsions sometimes where I'm able to be aware. So I don't want to call it an aware TC, but that's what it seems like. Somebody
That's the
told me,
thing with complex. Complex means you're unaware.
uh, I'm aware, like aware
Mhm.
and convulsing. What is that called? Like I can feel myself hitting things. I can feel myself biting my tongue, gritting my teeth, and all that. What is
That
that?
might be myoclonic or
Oh, I was seasoned. I was shaking and foaming and all that.
yeah, it might be a myoclonic seizure or partial onset. Um,
Yeah, I gotta study this more because we've been doing this too long to not know what's going on with me.
but a complex means that you lost your uh track of awareness. That's pretty much what it means for in the doctor's term.
Oh no, I'm fully aware. I can feel
Yeah.
everything on me. Um, I can feel whatever I'm hitting. Like I said, I can feel myself gritting my teeth. I'm just not in control. I'm not in
Yeah.
control at all. It's like it's trying to do this, but you can't move anything. Yeah. Like I've said once upon a time, it's like one time I was hitting my head on something and I just couldn't stop, can't stop yourself. So eventually my eyes started tearing up and crying and stuff, and that's all I remember. It's like I think eventually I just wanted to coma, I would say, because the pain deprivation just passed out. Yeah. So I want to know exactly what that is. I gotta ask someone else. That's I've been told quite a few things, but not by a doctor. It's been through other people who had seizures. And this is the first one I finally said, I need to talk to actually a doctor, because everyone else I know is giving me a million answers. And
Y'all know the terms for everything, and I don't know anything yet. But I would just reiterate for the writer of that question that based on all y'all's answers too, I just think that you should feel better about knowing that it's scary to hear that you've just had a seizure. It's frustrating to be that exhausted, but there's no pain involved, so you don't need to be worried that he's in a lot of pain, suffering in that way. It's something you can be understanding that he's frustrated, but that's more how I would describe it than anything else. It's exhausting and frustrating. It's not painful.
Well, we've all come to agree that the unaware are kind of more desirable for a lot of us after
yeah,
we
I'd
were
rather
talking
be
about
unaware.
being able to feel it. Yeah.
I'd rather all the time be way unaware. That shit is scary.
Oh yeah, it's very.
It's the only place you will hear many older men, grown men, say this is scary. You're not gonna hear that anywhere else. This is some scary shit that goes on when you're having a seizure and can't control it. Insomnia was killing me last night, and I was trying to go to sleep so I could be here on time. Just lay down for hours, then fall asleep, laying down, looking at the ceiling till like 2 o'clock. I tried. Didn't have weed, so
Those ones you are aware of, for having ones that you're not aware of your whole life, they can, like I said, it can give you PTSD. But yeah,
yeah, definitely didn't think about that part. Feel a little traumatized.
Yeah, that's another part about how epilepsy changes. You can definitely have focal aware seizures with convulsions. And if anything, I mean, it doesn't seem like this applies in everybody's situation, because that can't be a benefit for anyone to actually be able to feel the convulsions and when you're hitting stuff. But if you take notes, then you can tell where the convulsions start. That might help you narrow it down and specify what part of the brain it could be coming from before it generalizes into the full body convulsions. So I don't know, psychologically, that might help you. If you know a bad one's coming, then just kind of think about what you can try to remember. I can't comprehend how you can stay aware the whole time and even remember anything after. Memory is just never something that sticks around during a bad one. So that's definitely scary to be aware, but could be good if you remember.
Can you guys hear someone mowing the lawn in my background? Oh, perfect. I don't have to close it.
Before we go to the next question, I had something. So I got very injured on my first 2 tonic-clonics, and Is it okay that I tell you guys something?
Please.
I'm
Go
very
ahead.
excited. So I got really injured in my first 2 tonic-clonics, and it fucked up my left knee.
Sounds like
And
fun.
yeah, I mean, you guys all know about injuries. Okay.
Oh yeah.
So it fucked up my left knee. I don't know how, but I have been unable to straighten my left knee since last December. And I've been working on it and doing Pilates and just like trying to work on it. This morning, I was able to straighten my left knee, my left leg. Hooray!
Me too. That's
So
great.
I just wanted to share that with you guys. It was very exciting. It just happened, finally.
Yeah, I did that with a whole bunch of other limbs.
Yeah,
How exciting that is.
I know.
I'm still using the cane since the botched surgery, and it's slowly getting better. And I'm at the point that I'm walking around the apartment without the
Oh,
cane.
nice.
So, like, that's been so exciting. So, I
Yeah.
feel you.
Oh, I knew you guys would understand. I mean, I had a second, so I had my first tonic-clonic just at December 19th, my second one at the end of January. The one at the end of January, I fucked it up so bad. I was on crutches and then a cane for like 2 months. And finally, my left knee is like, my left leg, I can straighten it. And like, I mean, I'm still like limping a little bit, but man, it's getting there. God, these seizures where you fall and you like injure yourself. I didn't even get injured that bad. I didn't break anything. I mean, I had bruises like here and all over my left side of my body. I don't even know what I did. But anyways, I knew you guys would understand. It's just like I was just like all of a sudden I realized, oh my God, my left leg is straight. Thanks for letting me share that, you guys.
Anything that is ever a celebration or success story, always welcome.
Right.
Welcome, Melancholy. Happy to see you back.
Oh,
We've got an icebreaker here for you. And that is, what's the first thing you'll see in the bathroom?
just a
I
window.
said that I'm always looking at the floor when I walk. And so, first thing I see is the shampoo bottle that props the door open in my bathroom.
But yeah, mine is the shower straight ahead. So that's the first thing I notice. I'm looking in front of me because I'm clumsy and I run into stuff and I'm tall when there's like lights hanging out of the wall when you're, yeah, these lights here in the hallway, they hang out the wall. So I run into it often, or if my hair is in a bun, it hits it when I'm turning corners. I gotta make sure I'm looking directly straight or else I'll be on the phone like this and I stop because hit my head on the lampshade. That's, yeah, it's a lot. It's easier to walk around when the lights are on because you remember that light's right there before I run into it. I don't know if that's short people problems. Anybody else has to worry about things like that? Ugh. You guys probably jump up and hit the light. My head hits it. So the first comment on this other post about the sun, well, the only comment says, "I seem to be like your son. First the confusion, then very calm and sleepy. Will sleep for the better part of the next 24 hours, then agitated and aggressiveness. I do have bad headache, so it's possibly that he has one, and I think it's a good idea to give him some pain meds to ease that pain if he has it. What I need, honestly, is just the presence of someone I love and feel comfortable with. Apparently, I only calm down if he cuddles with me for hours on end while I'm trying to heal my brain. Yeah, the presence of someone that does make a big difference. Now that I think about it, healing alone has not been fun, but I'm home alone. There's no other options. Luckily, you, Jocelyn, you're not having seizures like me and breakthroughs and all that shit. Yeah, so you're always home alone.
Well, it's annoying too when you're just coming back and you're confused, but you want to know something. You want to ask that one question of what's going on, where am I, what happened, if something spilled or you're in a different place. Like there's a question you always want to ask, or I do when I come back. So it is nice to have people around for that, for sure, or to be on camera. If you know how
Reese.
to go back and look at those, good enough.
Oh, question to Reese. Since you're actually, I don't think you even said if your wife works or not, but I was assuming that you're home alone a lot because you don't say people are home with you. So, what do you do when you have a seizure and you're alone?
I don't know that it happened until she gets home. We're currently talking it out about whether or not we should get cameras. It's kind of a thing. She is anxious all the time because I've had seizures while she's at work, and she's come home. The one I just had, the worst one I've had recently, I wound up with like an egg-sized lump on my forehead and 2 black eyes and a bunch of bruises everywhere. That's what she came home to. Left her super anxious. So she wants to put cameras around. I understand that need on her end, but also I feel like I'm turning into a child and all of my, what's the word?
Independent.
Yeah, independence is being taken away.
You're being monitored constantly.
Yeah.
That's how I feel.
So I don't want cameras because I don't want to be a child. That's not even a child because I don't, well, I guess a child would be monitored. I don't know. I want to be a person who can live their life and not be constantly watched and treated like a kid. And I understand that it's coming from a place of love and care, and she's usually very good about treating me not like a child, like we have a good relationship in general where she's caring and she checks in on me, but at the same time she kind of jokes with me even because she knows that's how I work and what makes me feel better. Just being more casual about things. So she checks in when I need it and she jokes when I need it, and she knows me well enough to know which one is called for at which time. But she's also scared when it turns out that I can have a really bad seizure when I'm home alone. And so she wants to know how she can be helpful even though she's not here. And so we're in this awkward scenario right now where she's trying to do her best and she wants to be there for me. And I know that it's coming from a really good place, but at the same time, I feel like I'm turning into a kid. And I don't know what to do with that feeling. So, yeah.
Wait, Reese. My memory is all over the place. I think you said you and your wife were moving to another apartment, right?
Yeah. We just moved into a new apartment. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, sorry I missed that. Because then at another point, I thought I heard you say you had roommates or something. Um, maybe I
Yeah,
was.
I had roommates, but now it's just me and my wife. So I'm alone during the day because I work from home.
Oh, I thought you had. Oh, yeah, I remember you saying you were working. I thought you went into work. But yeah, that's just my memory all over the place. What I thought you said you had
No
roommates
worries.
living where you are now. It's just my memory. Uh,
No, that's fine. No. Even if I had roommates, I would be home alone because they all worked out of the house. But yeah, no, it's fine. I it's just me and the wife now, which is weird. I'm an adult, that's an aside, but I live alone with my wife? What? Anyway.
you think your seizures are controlled just like a little bit more than us? Because you don't sound like you're having a lot of seizures to just be living alone.
Oh, no. When was the last one I had? I've had a couple since I was able to come and see y'all. Which is kind of why I haven't been able to come and see y'all. So yeah, no, they're not they're not controlled. We're not we're not doing great yet.
Gotcha.
It's still a mess.
Are
Go
you
ahead,
on
Blueberry.
hypertonics or you only have like those partials?
No, I'm having the full on tonic clonics.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Reese, when me and my wife were good, originally she bought these cameras to watch the dogs, but when my seizures got worse, it became where she can watch me too from work. Um, how about instead of cameras all over the place, maybe a camera at one spot? And that's where you'll be when you're feeling bad on your bad, like you're feeling off,
That's
a
not
compromise.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. That's something we'll have to think about. I appreciate that recommendation. Yeah, we'll talk about that.
10 years seizure free, comes back stronger than ever. Just for some preface, just to preface this, I had my first seizure or so around 10 and tonic clonic, and last tonic clonic at 12. Every time I had one was usually around Christmas, getting too excited and having too much sugar, staying up too late. I would get a seizure aura at night, and my tonic clonic seizure would happen. Now, as an adult, I've been tonic clonic seizure free and no more auras until the past 2 weeks. Now 22. It's been, I believe it's been triggered from stress, etc., from exams. But the what confuses me is I've done so much worse for my health between that time and never even got the slightest feeling because I thought I was free from this. I was diagnosed with benign Rolandic epilepsy. Every night now, I get a seizure aura, even during the day. This is every night now. I get a seizure, even in the day. I got put back on Keppra. I was off it since 16, but now I'm on 1,000 milligrams, and the shit sucks to say the least. It's barely effective. I get the side effects. I don't have an appointment with my neurologist until August 15th, but I really don't want to have a tonic clonic again because number one, they make it more likely to have it happen again. Number two, it is painful and extremely scary to deal with, as well as expensive. Number three, I really like driving. My question is, what do I do to mitigate or eliminate it again? I've never tried again. I never tried anything other than Keppra, but I was thinking of trying Vimpat off meds or anything that I can. It sucks so bad that we have to deal with this, and I thought I could finally be free of it. You're never free once you have it. And don't look for freedom. My advice. But yeah, advice to this person. Uh that sounds like stress, and then like I said, Christmas.
I think
Yeah.
the stress of college is much.
I wasn't on Kepper either, so
Yeah. Is much like the stress of the world of trying to work, So
yeah.
it's hard. And you just gotta like find your ways to I'm trying to think of the word. Find your ways to like throw that stress down, like chill out. Like if you know what will help you take that stress away, then that's what you got to do. And I also know that they mentioned VinPat, and for me, VinPat, I was on it for a few years, and it is reliably a good source. I did not have any side effects from it.
Huh?
It was the least amount of side effects I ever felt, other than the usual like drowsiness and stuff.
Yeah,
Like
because the Motrigine caused me insomnia, so I
yeah,
don't know if taking something else and bring it back or change it. I think that's just over with. Just dealing with it.
it's getting off the VinPat that's the hard part.
But those are the
Detox.
ones in my experience, the ones that have the most like severe or quick dependence are the ones that exacerbate the side effects of the other meds. So the extended release Carbatrol. When I got on that one, obviously, 2 weeks into it, if I miss one dose, then I'm having a tonic-clonic. But when I was on the Vimpat with that, everything on the Vimpat was worse than before the Carbatrol. So that's another thing that I had to realize that the doctors are definitely never going to be upfront about too, is that sometimes the side effects that never really got in your way on a regular AED are or could get 10 times worse if you start another medication that might actually help the seizures more. But then you just don't feel like yourself. That's what
The thing that I found most shocking, I suppose, or made me realize that doctors are just people like the rest of us, is that they were surprised by some of my side effects. Like, I can't remember which medication we even thought to say it was a result of, but I lost the ability to experience carbonation. I just couldn't taste soda anymore, like bubbles. What else was it? My roommate thought it was fascinating and had me try it. There's some kind of candy that pops. Now I'm forgetting what it's called.
Pop it.
Pop Rocks.
Pop Rocks. Yeah, I tried Pop Rocks. Did
Same
not.
thing. Pop it. Pop rocks. I was
They
off a little
they
bit.
did not pop. anymore. Like, I could eat Pop Rocks without
Did
them
you feel it?
popping.
Did
I
you
did
feel
not
any popping?
I did not feel any popping anymore. So, like, I drank soda and it was always flat. I could eat Pop Rocks without them popping. There was just no ability to feel carbonation, which was bizarre. Um, and I told my doctor, and she was like, "What? What?" And had to, like, look it up. She'd never heard of that. Um, and I had several things come up in my time that doctors have had to look up because they've never heard of it. So that's been an experience, just realizing that they're just like any of us, just doing jobs, and they've learned stuff, and some stuff they haven't learned yet. And that's, I don't know how to feel about that. That's just, it is what it is. So, yeah, I think that we're kind of taught when we're younger that doctors are these ethereal kind of things, and they're they know everything and can fix everything, and they're just people just doing their jobs. And a lot of them do their jobs really badly when it comes to epilepsy. And it can be really difficult to get the support that you need. So I'm lucky that I've gotten doctors who were as good as the ones I found, and I'm lucky that I've only had doctors who are surprised by things like that. But yeah, that kind of was a thing. It made me realize that. So, and I couldn't taste soda for 2.5 years, which sucked. But they wound up taking me off it. I don't have a memory anymore, so I can't remember what it was called, but I do know which one it was because they just took me off it. But anyway, I can drink soda again, and it's amazing. I drink it all the time, and it's a problem. But
I only drink water, so that's the best thing for you.
yeah, no, that's the thing,
Water.
is I shouldn't drink soda all the time, but I'm so excited about it. I drink it like constantly.
Actually, I'm not gonna say I just drink water because I put a watermelon last night in the juicer. So I drink pure watermelon juice. So not like that concentrated stuff at the store. This is a chopped watermelon into those juicer things, and I got the juice. No pulp, just watermelon juice. Got a lot in the refrigerator. It is the most refreshing thing I've ever tasted with flavor. And yeah, you got something, Reese? I don't
That
drink
sounds,
soda, so yeah.
that just, the watermelon juice sounds dope. I love watermelon.
Get you a
So,
juicer.
sounds good.
Yeah. So a juicer and chop up some watermelon, let it sit in the refrigerator, get real cold. Then you don't have to wait for the cups of juice to get cold. Let the watermelon get cold, chop it up. Yeah. First comment says, I'd request an EEG to make sure what you're feeling is seizure related. Sometimes our body is primed to connect feelings that aren't actually related. For instance, if you could be experiencing waves of anxiety and assuming it's auras, that could be totally wrong, but something to possibly consider as well. Being on Kepler is the inner rim is a great layer of protection to help prevent anything further and from spreading the decreasing severity. You can call your neuro and ask them for an emergency rescue med, something you can take when an aura happens, that it will prevent the seizure from happening. But typically, that is a one-off type med, not a daily thing. Call your neuro office, be annoying, tell them you're feeling seizures coming on and you need an earlier appointment. Tell them put you on a CXL list. Anybody know what CXL list is? Call regularly and see if they have an opening. You are your biggest advocate. Tell them. Yeah, you got to be your biggest advocate. I learned that from Anne.
Oh, go ahead, Pookie.
Go ahead, I'm done.
Oh, I was just going to say there was a lot of that comment that I did not understand, but I will just say that EEGs proving everything is jack shit. Like, you can have an EEG come back perfectly clear, even though you have fairly regular tonic-clonics. Like, I don't really understand the point of EEGs, honestly, because I've had 6 at-home EEGs, I think, at this point, and half of them I didn't have any seizures, because, like, how can you have seizures during the 3 days that you have it set up? Like, you can't make sure that you have seizures during that time.
Right.
Oh,
So
the
it turned out to be
ambulatory.
it turned out to be useless. Like, they didn't get any information because I didn't have any of my seizures during that time, but I was still having regular seizures. So it just, I don't know, it just bugs me.
But Reese,
Nobody ever
half were
suggested you.
successful.
Say that again, Jeff.
Half of them were successful.
Well,
So you had a
that
50% hit rate.
well, but I mean, I don't know. That's we gotta keep doing it over and over and hope that it works. They're a pain in the ass, and also they're expensive. Like,
They are a pain in the ass, but if they work, when they work, it's great information for your doctors. And a lot of times they don't work. I've had a couple that didn't work, but I've also had one that worked.
It's a lot easier to get that shit out of your hair, man.
Oh my
It-
God, it's so awful trying to get
That's
that
why
shit
my hair
out.
is this length.
The first few I had, half my hair was just shaved, but now it's longer because since the botch surgery, I have patches of baldness, so it doesn't look good if I do the shaved hairstyle I used to have because half of it's bald. So I have longer hair to cover it, but damn, hard to get that stuff out of long hair.
Oh
Yeah,
man, could you imagine like getting it out of this hair was so annoying. Wash it,
Oh my God.
wash. Days and days, different washes. Let it dry, wash it again.
Yep.
That stuff is the worst. It is absolutely annoying. It's like getting peanut butter out of your hair.
You gotta
It's
invent
Not
worse.
a
fun in short
cleaning.
hair either.
I had to wash.
Someone expressed to me that it's like getting peanut butter out of your hair with a paper towel. That shit is hard to get out of your hair. Not when you one wash is not enough. Somebody else, go ahead.
So how many clean EEGs did you guys have until you were so determined to have a seizure on time that you took matters into your own hands? I got the impression that doctors didn't want to tell me to stop taking my meds, but that's what was gonna have to happen.
I had to
every
go to the
EEG,
EMU.
every EEG I've had, an MRI, it's always come out clean. There's no seizure activity. They just gave me epilepsy because I have brain trauma. So piece of the brain is just like soft tissue. There's no seizures start here and go there and all that. It's fucked. It's just happening. Basically. Just gonna diagnose you. You're never gonna get a brain wave thing and show you where it comes from so we can help you. No, they just like you got encephalomalacia on the right side of your. I forgot what they call that, and I shouldn't. But yeah, so they told me you have encephalomalacia, just soft brain tissue sitting there that we can't take out, you can't touch, or it might get worse. And yeah, I'm not the best doctor, so I don't know all the terms they told me. But yeah, basically, just ride it out. Rest of your days, no ifs,
I,
ands, or buts.
I don't remember how many I had before I went to the EMU.
So you didn't stop taking your meds until you did an inpatient EEG?
Yeah, I had to do the inpatient, and I spent 5 days in there.
Okay,
Successful?
so
Huh?
I've had epilepsy for 20 years, and I started having it in high school. The first MRI I had was about 8 years ago. Go
I
ahead,
always
somebody.
feel so bad for everyone. I didn't know that it took people this long to get diagnosed. I was literally diagnosed the first time I went to the hospital for a tonic-clonic. They just immediately saw my cyst and the seizure, the like heard about what happened from my roommates. Yeah, you got a giant cyst, you got epilepsy, there you go. So that's how mine went. Just immediately they were like, that's what's going on. Go to the neurologist. So all my EEGs have just been to better understand the patterns and get the medication right.
Yeah, so now I'm getting MRIs and I haven't got many, but yeah.
The
I just
causes of
randomly
go ahead, Melancholy.
I just randomly started having just had a seizure at I think it was like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning in my sleep one day when I was 42 years old. Never had them before, anything. Big tonic clonic in my sleep. So, but I wasn't, I went to the doctor and his first response to me was, "Oh, you probably smoked some bad weed." Then I was officially diagnosed, I think, about 9 months later after I had another one. But I was on Keppra at first and turned into a very angry rage monster and screamed at a grocery cashier for no reason whatsoever.
Probably once
Yelled
you
at
feel like a Karen.
Oh yeah, I turned into full on screaming Karen in the grocery store, stormed out, screamed at my partner the whole way home. We changed meds very shortly.
I think he'd agree.
Yeah, that one was bad, but I don't know. It's been kind of off and on since then. I didn't know my focals were focals for the first. Well, it just started in like 2019 or 2020. I don't remember when I had my first one. And then what was I talking about?
I don't
See,
know.
now I do
How
this.
many times? No, it was clear as day how many times you had to have seizures before your doctor even tried to not sweep it under the rug as bad weed, a bad,
Well,
bad
yeah,
stuff, I guess.
and then they kept my focals because the tonic clonics they were counting, but then the focals they kept saying was panic attacks. Oh, you're just having anxiety and panic attacks. You're just having panic attacks. I'm like, these are not regular panic attacks. And I ended up accidentally seeing a PA or something. And I got scheduled instead of like my regular neurologist, I got scheduled with instead of the epileptologist,
Yeah,
there
one of
was
their
some
assistants.
scheduling shuffle, and I saw a different person. And I ended up having a conversation with her, and she's like, "That sounds like you're having auras." And we talked more, and I thought back, and I think like at one point in time, I track all kinds of stuff. At one point in time, I think I was having like 40 or 50 of those a day, thinking that there was anxiety.
Oh, like I can imagine that many a day. And you were you living alone? Or no, you were with your partner? Okay.
Not at that time, but I was spending from 7:30 in the morning till 5:30 at night alone. So 10 hours, but 8, 10 hours a day by myself. Yeah.
Yeah, that sucks. But I didn't know that for the past 10 years, I didn't know that I was having focals because I didn't understand what was going on. I didn't understand what it was. I thought the
It's so weird.
Yeah, I thought everything that was happening, like the weird vibes, I thought those were like precursors. And I would tell myself, go sit down. You're getting hot flashes and stuff like that, and shoulder jerking out of nowhere. Come to find out, those
Well,
were
and
actually seizures. I'm blacking
they
out and
never,
blanking out and stuff, and coming back. And then people are like, you all right? And I'm like, what do you mean, am I all right?
right. So, and it's like, thinking back and hearing other people's stories now, and it's like doing more research. And I'm thinking about weird stuff that happened like decades ago. And I'm like, it makes me wonder, was that some kind of a focal too? Was that some kind of weird thing too?
Exactly how cousins remember you just tuning out some random exciting part or what was supposed to be exciting part about a birthday party or something.
Yeah.
You just don't look like you have the same expression on some family photos. Yeah.
Just, I don't know. It's strange. It's so weird. And trying to figure it out. I'm so glad I found you guys even just to come and sit and listen. And I've only been here a couple times and I've already learned so much.
Well, that's the best part of being a part of the group because everything that we do know, if it's not exactly applicable every day, I forget. So I kind of tend to forget about auras and things that don't apply to me right now. But all these reminders that every decade, basically, and however many years you live with epilepsy, it changes.
Yeah.
So,
I'm having to accept a lot of things at this point in time, like I'm probably never gonna drive again and I need to just sell my car. It's stupid to keep paying insurance on a car that I haven't been able to drive in 5 years. I don't even have a driver's license.
yeah, so your insurance
Just,
might have skyrocketed after that.
I don't think they know.
Oh, yeah, that's that could be it. Yeah, that was hard to do. But honestly, all those like quick pickup, quick sell services, some of them actually come through with buyers who, I think I don't know what the word is, but the like happy day for us was when this one buyer actually pulled the whatever that report's called, where you could see if the car had been in accidents, and then we knew that one was serious, and they ended up going like $200 more than one of those like same day pickup places that wanted to give like $100 for a 2012 Subaru, and
Nice.
she ended up getting like 900 for it. Yeah,
Yeah, it's hard to give up your independence.
yeah, I guess that is kind of like an official closed door.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't exactly have to give it up. It was just kind of taken,
Yeah.
snatched
Well, I
violently.
mean, and you were young, so you never like had the freedom to go out and drive and do all of that on your own, did you?
I didn't, but I did. I didn't
You weren't
have the
supposed to.
freedom. Like I didn't have the freedom at all. Like I really agree that my mother didn't see these things happen, so she didn't know to care. I'm supposed to be at the park, but 40 miles away in somebody else's car. Yeah, I was
What
driving
mom
all
don't
kinds of
know,
stuff as a teen. I
what
was joining gangs and just living life as a regular teen. I forgot about epilepsy. I just gave up on being worried about it in high school because then you got to think people are looking at you all the time, and yeah, so I got over it pretty fast. The fact that people were looking at me and stuff.
yeah.
But hearing that
Oh
from
no,
everybody else makes me less self-conscious about how many things I should have done better. Because that's what my mindset has been since those like 5 years maybe I had a license and had a lot of independence and freedom that was actually allowed. I didn't make the best choices, but I was trying to forget about epilepsy and just hurry up and get to what I thought were the best goals at the time. And now I realize I'm not a total fuck up because a lot of other people did it too. And now here we are.
there were like right after the first seizure and they told me I couldn't drive, I was like, yeah, whatever. And I kind of still drove every once in a while. I wasn't driving all the time, but there was a few times that I went and did a couple things, you know. But then I was managed to get seizure free for 6 months, which is the limit here. And I started driving again, but just for like it was like a month or two. And I realize now looking back, that's when I thought the focals were panic attacks. I had focals while I was driving, but I ended up having another one. So I drove for like a few weeks out of the whole last 5 years. But other than that, I've been really, really, really good and not been driving at all. I even
Yeah.
like I even had my car moved out to my friend's house because he lives out in the country. I'm like, can we just park this out at your place because
That was
you have
smart.
more
That's
room
wicked
and
temptation.
it's a lot less of a temptation for me to just jump in the car and drive if it's not in my driveway. So,
Yeah, I stopped driving after I crashed and had an accident. Um, Actually, no. Well, yeah, I stopped driving a little bit after that.
yeah,
Slowly tapered off. Um,
I I just wish that there were better transportation options around here. There's nothing.
Ooh, out here, um, well, we have a lot of, we're in cities. Cities are pretty close. It's really good transportation around here. It's in California, if you didn't know. But I actually got to use my bracelet one time. There was somebody in one of those seats for the disabled people, and there were no more seats anywhere else. Those are the best seats. He didn't need that.
Yeah,
So I told him,
you got to kick somebody out their seat.
yes, yes. I didn't have to say, actually, I was going to say, I didn't have to say much, but I was just like, if I try to get in one of those seats, you're going to be untangling me from up under the seat. This what this for? You want to read it? It's like, no, it's okay, brother. It's like, all right. Well, I didn't clap, but yeah, it's like,
I
nice.
appreciate you.
Got to
I
use my seat.
appreciate you.
Finally get to use my bracelet for something because
Right.
ambulance haven't seen it yet. So I got to use it for something else because those are the good seats. They're comfortable. They got the armrest on the side.
Wow. Those are like uptown.
Yeah. Get you a
No,
bracelet. Get you a
there's
bracelet. There is perks to this.
there's there there's not a bus route within 10 miles of my house.
Oh man.
And even if there was, I couldn't probably walk to it because I can't hardly walk to my mailbox because of all my issues.
I can't walk to the mailbox without getting lost. So you're not on your own. You're not alone in this.
Hey, Toaster.
Yeah. Hey, Toaster. How you doing? How's your Tuesday going?
It's a Tuesday, one of my favorite days of the week.
Oh, toast on Tuesday.
Toasty.
Toast on Tuesday. I gotta use that. Toast on Tuesday.
Toasty on Tuesday.
Toasty on Tuesday. My favorite days are Fridays. Something about being Friday.
Give me one moment, I'm being called.
The icebreaker today was what's the first thing you see? Oh, yeah, she did say her dad called. I don't know why I just
Yeah,
started
she's
talking.
getting a call. It's cool.
Yeah, that's gonna be a great icebreaker. I can't imagine what she says. I think she's gonna, you guys want to guess? She might say the floor. She might say the wall. My
How
guess
tall
is
is she? It might. I was thinking if she's gonna say something about the lights. The lights in a bathroom sometimes are really bright. If they're like surrounding the window or something. I'm thinking of these hotel rooms.
my guess is that she's gonna say she sees the floor. Or she sees whatever in front of her when she opens the bathroom door.
If it wasn't the window, it would definitely be the hamper. The dirty
Toaster,
clothes bag.
did you
Sorry,
hear
I'm
us?
back.
No.
No, oh, well, I did, but totally got thrown off by apparently we're having lasagna for dinner.
Nice.
I
But
know.
the icebreaker is, what's the first thing you see when you go in the bathroom? You looking for the bathroom? Oh, a picture. What is it?
More pictures. It says bath time, and it's a puppy being dragged into a tub.
Okay, yeah, that is the wall. The first thing you walk in.
This is something my mom made,
Oh, that's nice.
and this is also something my mom made.
Your family is very artistic.
Oh yeah, my mom is an artist.
You always see us
My
back there doing something.
my wife is an artist, and she just got a wine rack for the bathroom to use to hold towels. She
Ooh,
decided that this would be an awesome idea to use a wine rack and then roll up towels and put them in the wine rack and have that be the towel holder.
that's a
That's
good idea.
that's the kind of thing my artist wife be doing. Also, we have a picture of a hedgehog in the bathroom because we have a hedgehog. So,
Hedgehogs are cute.
yeah.
How common is disassociation with epilepsy? Honestly, I thought disassociation was just a human survival feature.
Well, I definitely have to look that one up because I'm not sure exactly what they call that. Like, what's the difference between is disassociative just kind of when you zone out? What do you know about that?
There's there's disassociation and dissociation.
Oh,
So you have to be careful with epilepsy. A partial unaware is a definition of dissociation. You're you're removed from your reality. You are. It's not psychosis, unless of course you're among the lucky ones. But yeah, it's like a dissociation. It's sort of like you just don't feel like yourself and you're kind of robotic. Is that what you're referring to, Angel?
I'm just thinking about auras and stuff like that. But I remember a period in my time where I was looking it up, and I remember going through the steps of disassociation where, like, I could feel numbness, and I can, like, all the stuff of that would define disassociation by therapeutic standards.
Right, right. That's why I said you got to be careful because I mean the stack of psychiatric diagnoses that
Yeah.
it's kind of haunting me, but they're going away one by one. It's
Yeah.
just but I get it. It's like yeah, I remember a time. God, I was just not myself. But when I look at what happened, yeah, we could count it as a trauma response or maybe I was just having nonstop focal seizures. It just wasn't backing off. But, we've been through that. So it's like, yeah, disassociation is different. That's where you get like dissociative identity disorder, which is like a multiple personality disorder. That's disassociation. You become somebody completely different. Where dissociation, you're just kind of out of it. And I could be wrong. And I know this isn't an accurate clinical definition, but it is not disassociation because it's a very different experience when we're experiencing either auras or even some of these side effects. I mean, you're almost off the Vimpat. Dang, I couldn't even drop 100 milligrams. And I think Mark mentioned Friday that they dropped 50 and he had the same heart rhythm glitch that I did. Yeah. But talking to a few people, my doctor dropped my dose too quickly. But I don't know, but it's different. Disassociation is different from dissociation. That's all.
Okay.
Change of medication after years of Keppra. Those of you who are or who did take Keppra or any other medication, I guess, for years and then added another one or changed your treatment. How did you manage that? What was it like? My husband has a TC every 1 to 2 months, mainly immediately after falling asleep. He has been on Keppra for almost 20 years. He is currently taking 1,000 milligrams in the morning, 1,000 milligrams at night, extended release. He has been on that dose for about 6 years, maybe. For years before that, he only had one TC every year or two. Then about 4 years ago, he started having auras, a few per week, and then had a big TC in 2023 that seemed to trigger something because since then he has had 6 or 7 TCs a year, every 1 to 2 months. They did not change his dose after 2023 episode. They only switched him to the extended release. I want to encourage him to talk to his doctor again about changing his treatment since it's clearly not working for him. But I would like to know what that usually looks like. Of course, we will ask the doctor too, but I want to know how to best support him while he goes through the changes and also what to expect, what side effects, risk of seizures, etc. This is emotionally draining for both of us, so I feel the more I know, the less I have to stress about it, if that makes any sense. I know seeing me worried affects him greatly too, and I can only hide it so much. Thanks and sorry for missing any important information. I need someone to give her advice to a significant other. I just say you got to comfort them, keep asking them, what can I do? Instead, it's some rough shit to go through.
Getting off of Capra was a kind of a big, scary moment and a big relief moment for me, because it was at the time where my former neurologist just referred me to another neurologist, and in order to see this other neurologist, I had to be off of all meds. So, yeah, that was the scary part.
They wouldn't even take your new patient appointment until you could say you weren't on these meds?
Nah, he wanted me off all meds, and he wanted an EEG done before I see him. And I've been with him since. He's been a godsend, I think.
Nice. I need one of those godsends. Oh, sorry to cut you off. No, actually, the cup isn't see-through, but this is the juice I was telling you about, Reese. It's just pure watermelon juice. It's amazing. Just watermelon. I never had just watermelon. I've already had like some Arizona watermelon. Nothing tastes like just watermelon. It's water that tastes like melon and sugary. It's delicious.
I heard it comes out clear.
For the most part, it's a little pink, you know. But I can see where people would say clear. Yeah.
The strangest connection. My therapist, her husband, grows watermelons.
Would it be weird if I say I can taste the water?
And the watermelon?
Yeah, really like.
Don't mind me, I have the sniffles. So I'm laying back.
Okay, I'm going to read a few comments. One says epilepsy meds are very much a guess and check experiments. If you continue to have them, try something new. I commend you for all the investigation you're doing. Be your own advocate. No one else will. especially if you don't tell the doctor the full story, inadvertently or not. Keep on keeping on. Another one says, my partner built up a 3,000 milligram of Keppra and 20 milligrams daily of clobazam. His TCs were roughly monthly on those, since adding lamotrigine has been seizure-free for 15 weeks for the longest stint prior to 7 weeks. Now he is still increasing lamotrigine slowly and only halfway to the dose his neuro wants him at, only after his reaching 400 milligram daily. Will his neuro look at tapering off the other meds? Maybe ask about lamotrigine in conjunction with Keppra. From what I've read, they work well together, and lamotrigine has given my partner the least side effects. Okay, what I will say is this is 4 months ago, so let your partner get 5 and 6 years into this shit. Yeah, for 4 months just getting started on this, just get ready. Say you don't see side effects now. Yeah, he's gonna be up all night. And they did say it works good. It works better when taking it with Keppra. They told me that. So they gave me so many Keppra, and yeah, told them I'm not taking it.
Yeah. It's supposed to act as a mood stabilizer.
Yeah. Lamotrigine. Yeah, you don't see the side effects now, you will. All these things have side effects. They're not going to tell you. You can look it up. Might be short, might be long term down the line, but it is coming. Believe me, I did not expect this. I thought I was just staying up just because I could. I thought it was just playing video games, and that's cool. No, come to find out, when I wasn't playing video games and started trying to go to sleep, that's when I noticed I can't go to sleep. What might this be?
Insomnia from insomnia. I've never been able to sleep my whole life, and now the doctor says go to sleep 9 to 11. That's your window. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? I used to go to sleep at 3 a.m. Like, how am I gonna go to sleep that early? And now I go to sleep at 9 o'clock every night. Almost 9:30, 10 o'clock. And it works. I mean, I tend to wake up in the middle of the night, but I fall asleep again. So I don't know. It's working so far.
Two things for me is I take my medication 12 hours apart. So 10 a.m., 10 p.m. So I can't do the falling asleep at 9. But another thing is you can pretty much train your body, I would say. Your body would get used to you laying down at these times, but mine is never consistent. Sometimes there's things I have to do. You don't have children. Yeah, so
Children make everything more difficult. My parents were my children, if that makes
so
any
much fun
sense.
though. I'm trying to tell you.
I
They're really
stayed up
fun.
till 3 a.m. because midnight was when I got to start spending time by doing my own stuff grown up, because I would hang out with my mom until she fell asleep and then move on to my dad because they never talked to each other. Whatever. My family sucked. But hang out with my mom till she fell asleep, then move on to my dad. Then at midnight, I would finally have my own time, and then I'd fall asleep at like 3 a.m. So that's what I did in high school. But now I actually have my own schedule. So I feel ya. Having kids, that's rough. But I'm just doing my own thing now. So I can fall asleep at 9.
Got something that says, who else got misdiagnosed? Doctors saying you're having panic attacks. Well, I did. And I knew for certain they were wrong. I was experiencing focal aware seizures. That is the question. Who else got misdiagnosed? I knew somebody who came earlier in the beginning who was talking about how he got misdiagnosed and they told him it was panic attacks for years. But I don't know anybody personally other than that, other than him. Toaster, you got a story? I seen your hand up. Oh, is it melancholy?
Yeah.
You know me
It's
personally.
Okay, who's first?
it doesn't matter.
Go ahead.
I had the tonic-clonic, so I was diagnosed with epilepsy, but I was having focals too, and they kept telling me those were panic attacks and anxiety.
How did you get him to change that? When you had a focal? I mean, when you had a tonic?
No, they had diagnosed both. They're like it, yeah, I was diagnosed with epilepsy, but were treating that, and when I would bring up the other stuff, they're like, "Oh no, that's just panic attacks." They kept blowing it off and telling me it was anxiety, and I needed to go to my primary care doctor.
Would that be something like PNES? Like basically tell you you're tripping?
Pretty much that's what they was telling me, I think.
Yeah, I just did that for 5 years, Pookie. I did exactly that for 5 years. That's what I just ended for my life, was that misdiagnosis. But it took 4 decades just to get to a diagnosis because, yeah, it was always something else. It was either anxiety, this, that, and everything. Tomorrow, I'm getting the shoulder fixed that I was told in 2022 that it was literally all in my head. And a physical therapist put in a referral to behavioral health. And I'm getting that fixed tomorrow. So that took 3 years. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it's all in your head. It's panic attacks. It's
Oh yeah,
anxiety. It's
I
everything but they flopped flopped. I forgot. I know there's a proper term, but they said that my epilepsy diagnosis of 13 years was not epilepsy, but it was PNES. And they refused to refill my medications when I moved
oh
here.
no.
So, yeah, oh yeah. So I just went through all that, and thankfully they're listening, a little too late. I hope everything works out, but it's like, well, this is what happened and these were the results, and now we got to fix it, but yeah, that's exactly what I had. So yeah, you do know somebody, Pookie. A couple of us.
Yeah, I didn't. I thought you were just misdiagnosed for epilepsy. My memory's bad. I don't exactly remember the story, um, even though you tell me all the time. Yeah,
That's okay. I am like above the clouds right now and just out there.
I'm gonna
Nobody
keep
has a
your
good
at.
memory around here.
You said how many people have good memory?
No, I said nobody has a good memory around here.
Oh yeah, that's something I do now. Remember that nobody has good memory. So some of the comments here. Someone says I had panic attacks for 20 years. Then they were hemiplegic migraines that mirror the symptoms of a stroke or a seizure. It looked like having a tonic-clonic at 28 and almost dying for them to believe me and then schedule another EMU stay. Another one says, yep, it seems to be a regular thing. What I've seen here for 3 years, misdiagnosed by GPs who don't even make eye contact with you as they speak. Takes a TC for them to actually care and listen. Another one says, at least until I switched neuros and got diagnosed with temporal lobe seizures. My first neuro didn't take me serious in any way. Been on Keppra since mid-2021, and I haven't had one seizure since. Congratulations to you. Round of applause. One more comment. Says I had a seizure in busy intersection bicycling. Got hit by a car, and there were multiple witnesses. The ER doc kept saying It was just hysterical until I had one right in front of my mom and him. He looked at my mom and said, "Well, I guess she really isn't faking." That is the worst. That you have to have one in front of the doctor. They took mine because I had a seizure at school twice. Then they just couldn't accept that anymore. Traumatizing students. Yeah.
So we've got another one here. How do I find out what triggers my seizures? There's a 90% chance I developed epilepsy due to alcohol. I've been drinking since I was in middle school, stopped doing it intensely for a few years, but picked it up again sometime 2 years ago. And whenever I would drink at home, I'd end up having a seizure the second or third day after. Stop drinking, but I still randomly get seizures. It can be once I'm sleeping or watching a video, never been photosensitive, or just doing random things. On doctor's note, it specifies refractory epilepsy. EEG did show brain waves are weird. One time I had a seizure 1 to twice a day for almost 5 days. No alcohol around that time. Would it be a good idea to purposely do things that might trigger a seizure to find the root? How do I find out what is my trigger? Yeah, this is tricky because I know I did things like that to try to narrow it down and it never worked. It took literally just taking notes for more detailed for like an entire year to notice trends on timing. And it literally came down to things like weather and what I had been drinking and stuff that I would have never thought to journal at the beginning. So did anybody else have kind of a better way to narrow down seizure or triggers?
I couldn't figure mine out until just recently, and it turned out to just be when I'm super stressed is then the only thing I can figure it out. That's the only thing I can figure out is stress.
Yeah, I think a lot of us
Wild to
parents
me
don't want
that
to admit to
y'all have
stress.
wild to me that y'all have triggers because I'm just bopping around having seizures whenever. I don't know. We'll fucking see. I guess when we get rid of the rest of the cyst, maybe we'll start figuring it out. My shit's just a mess.
Do you have any
I mean,
warning? Do you have any kind of warning
Not
beforehand?
usually. I found out that occasionally I have an aura sudden, like I didn't used to, but very occasionally now I do, but most of the time now it just happens. We're just chilling and then suddenly, yeah.
so what kind of notes do you take around the time you do have a seizure?
I just tracked my life and I've figured it out over time.
What helped me with the stress, because I'd never wanted to admit to it, was just putting out a number on it. On like a 1 to 5, I would just write a random number at the end of the note, and I would know that was me trying to, you know, make that something to be able to monitor. What about you, Reese? Since you've been having so much trouble narrowing it down, I mean, it's just hard to feel like there's no consistency, no some kind of common underlier.
I don't know that we'd even been thinking about triggers. We've just been trying to come up with some sort of pattern, I guess, like consistent pattern of
Yeah, so day of the
timing.
month, time of day. Yeah.
Yeah. Because there have been so many, I guess. I don't know. My wife keeps the journal because after them I'm just useless for at least 10 minutes. So I would not be good at doing the journal. So I don't really know what she puts in the journal because I don't ask. Um,
You're not useless, and maybe you should start reading the journal, see what she writes and stuff.
yeah, might be useful. There's an extent to which I've just been like, I don't fucking care. I'm overwhelmed and I'm over it. And this is kind of the beginning of me realizing that I need to start taking care of myself again. But since the surgery, I've just been so like
So is it this
my
surgery? What are they blaming the surgery for now? How has that changed your, intensity of your care?
they after the surgery, they kind of just said they're blaming a lot of it on the cyst still. They said that the cyst is growing, and it's not that the cyst is growing at a rate that they didn't expect, but because the surgery had such a bad went so poorly, they want to do the rest of get the rest of the cyst while they know how the first surgery went, because if it grows more, that knowledge won't be relevant anymore, I guess. So it's like the first surgery was shit, but at least it gave them information about what the cyst looks like and how it reacts to things. And so now they're like, we want to go in and get the rest of it while we still have that information. But if we wait longer, that information won't apply anymore. Because they told me originally that I could have whatever timing felt right to me, like I could just wait, because it was grown slowly. And they said that the cyst wasn't having much effect on the epilepsy, if that makes sense. I don't think it makes sense, but that's what they said. So they were saying that removing the cyst wouldn't change much about how they were dealing with their knowledge of the epilepsy. So I could do it on my own schedule. But now they're saying that they need to remove the cyst as soon as possible, and that the cyst is growing and like pushing on something in a way that it's causing more of a problem than they originally thought. So, like, they're really trying to pressure me to get the second surgery soon, but the first surgery was like a fuck show. So I don't understand. That's my story. I don't remember the question because my memory is that bad. So I don't know if that answered the question, but that's what's going on with my stupid cyst.
It happens. And it's definitely not always the first thing we think to just get a second opinion when sometimes one medical team does not make any sense as to what they're telling you or what they want to do.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. And it's the most frustrating thing is that they're saying that they don't know for sure that the cyst and the epilepsy are connected. They're saying that they need to get the cyst out, but they don't know that getting the cyst out is going to change anything in terms of epilepsy and the way the seizures happen. That's what we were talking about, is what causes, like, what the so I had thought that the causes were all the cyst, because that makes the most sense. But they're saying we don't know for sure that taking the cyst out is going to have any effect on whatever causes the epilepsy. So it's a mess.
Yeah, that definitely sounds like a lot to process.
Mm-hmm.
But now we can welcome Jason and introduce the icebreaker to you. What's the first thing you see in the bathroom when you walk in the bathroom?
My two my two colognes that I've never used in the last 2 years.
Okay, that's the first time we got that answer. That's an interesting.
Respect. We've all got those things we don't actually use. I've got perfumes and stuff that I don't use. I have one, because I keep talking about things my artist wife makes. She made me a I don't even know what you call it, like a spritz or something that smells like the laundry detergent Gain, because I constantly tell her how much I like the smell of Gain. So she, as a joke, made me a Gain spritzer. So I have that too.
Gotta love having creative people in the household. Speaking of, we've got one here about anyone self-employed in a creative job and finding themselves more self-unemployed, because I am. Been working as a freelance creative, any or arty type for a few years, but a lot of it has dwindled away. I've never actually had a proper job, but I've done well in the arty field. Just wondering if anyone else has or had this or knows about it and anything good to share about it. So, never been a creative type myself, but there's a comment here saying I've been a freelance writer and research assistant for 10 years. While the quality of my written word outputs have been the same, I have had trouble with word recall since before, and I got diagnosed starting about 3 years ago. Luckily, I'm finally on the right doses of meds, but the epilepsy or the meds have messed with the once creative talent that I had, which makes it challenging. Well, that's a shame. So let's talk to our arty types here. How has it affected you?
I have more time to write, but I don't get paid for it. But it's fun, and it gives me enjoyment. I'm not
Have you ever
sure.
contemplated whether writing, just for, I guess you could call it recreation, not getting paid for it, is that actually a little more conducive to your creativity than doing it for a
What?
living and having that stress, that pressure of, you gotta do
Yeah,
this right to get paid?
yeah.
Okay.
I mean, this is gonna sound horrid, but it makes it a lot more fun to write when I know you guys aren't going to like dock my pay or yell at me just because I miss a day. I can write on my own time, and it's wonderful.
It's precious.
But
Melancholy, are you the creative type?
Oh, wait, hold up. Like, I can write. I can write. I mean, just like there's this website called ASCAP, and you can like actually like publish your songs there, so nobody can like copyright you and stuff like that. Like I've been using ASCAP for like at least about like 4 to 5 years now.
did you say ASCAP?
Yeah,
It's
ASCAP.
an app
Yeah,
like ASS cap.
no, ASCAP.
Okay, gotcha. I literally thought you said ASCAP.
We've got a lot of musicians here too. Anybody ever notice a difference or maybe even an improvement on those skills?
I was
Good.
I mean, like I mean, like I would say, like pretty much, like more with like try to like take take a memory like day by day, and then take it like, and then walk a few steps. It could pretty much help.
Okay, so the memory, the recall part hasn't gotten in the way.
Nah,
I think I've lost all of my creativity with my memory.
What was your forte before?
It depends on how far you go back. I used to draw, and then I was in pottery, and at one point in time I was gonna go to college for art, but then changed my mind and didn't go. So it's now I just knit. I sit at home and knit. That's about as creative as it gets.
You had the cat basket.
What?
No, that's something else. Sorry.
I
You
was gonna
talking about
say I
that
don't
that
know
post we
any.
had with the bed? That somebody made a cat bed, knitted a cat bed. I think that's what Toaster's referring to.
Yeah, that was not me.
Well,
That
you
was
need to post some of your art because, well, I for one love to see it.
I haven't done very much, but if I get these socks finished ever, it's only been like 2 years. Uh, I might post a picture of them.
That's definitely something we could look forward to.
Please take your medication as prescribed or whatever works for you. We're not doctors.